Greetings and salutations. Happy Thursday? Thursday? Happy Thursday. Happy day after hump day. Happy camel day. It's the second hump of the week, if you will. I hope you and your bloodlines are fruitful and multiplying, and all of your wildest dreams are coming true. And if they're not, we'll see what we can do about that today. With that being said, today's episode of Hormozi Hotline, I think we've got an interesting cast of characters. We'll see. I have no idea, actually. I'm mostly saying that to increase our stakes. This will be cold. With that being said, what's up in the chat? Rudy, how's it going? Ahmed, Aaron, what's going on? Soban Ahmed, another Ahmed, actually. Tens Tints, what's up? Easy work. Kaio, salutations. All right, let's blow this popsicle stand.
Paul is coming in hot.
Hello?
Hey, Alex.
Hey, what's up?
Not too much. But my name's Paul.
All right. Go for it.
Yeah. So my name's Paul. I own a business that sells cannabis seeds to adventurers and home growers. We make around $200,000 per month, and I want to have $2.5 million in my bank account by November. What stopped me is the government is shutting my business down and making shipping seeds illegal. I'm incredibly stressed. I won't be able to pay my bills. I want to start a family and retire my fiance. And I need money to start my next business since this one's getting shut down. So, Alex, if you were in my shoes, how would you fit $2.5 million in your bank account in less than 8 months?
Well, first off, man, I'm sorry you're going through it. Okay, so how much cash you got right now?
500,000.
Okay, so we need another 200 after taxes, right? Sorry, 2 million after taxes.
Yeah, another 2 million.
Okay, so another 2 million after taxes. Selling the business is going to be pretty hard because of the same issues. On the 200 a month that you're making, what are you making in profit?
70%.
70?
Yeah.
It's not bad. Okay, so we got 8 months times 200, so it's 1.6 million times 0.7. So we're looking at what? A little over $1 million in profit over the next 8 before taxes. Okay. What's magic about $2.5 million versus the $1 million that you'll have after taxes and after everything?
I guess there's less stress in general. If I could have that to invest, then it will be enough passive income for myself and my fiance to live.
So you're thinking living like
lifestyle.
living like 4 or 5%, and then make $100,000 a year passively. Is that what you're thinking?
Exactly.
Okay. What's your fiance do?
She's a travel and surge technician, but we're both a bit older, so we would like to just start a family as soon as we can, and I don't want her to work and be pregnant.
Oh, okay. The difficulty with this is the time constraint. Okay, so you've got 8 more months to sell your seeds, right? Before it becomes illegal, correct? And so I'm guessing you're not trying to sell another product to that same base?
I'm open to it.
Okay. Well, if you were like, I'm trying to cash out, which is what it sounds like, I would probably do 2 things. So the first thing I would do is I would look at your fiance's hours, and given we are early in the year, I would see if she could get basically, I don't know how much she makes, but I'm guessing it's less than you. That could be it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
So if it's less than you, then I would encourage you to look up real estate professional status for your fiance, which is 750 hours a year. So that's thing 1. Thing 2 is that I would, from a business perspective, and I'll loop around why. The second thing is that from a business perspective, I would basically do a going out of business sale. right? Going out of business sales, and I would run them hardcore between now and the 8 months. And so you'll oftentimes be able to double, triple sales as long as there's legitimate urgency, which there is because you literally are, everything must go, right? And the nice thing is that you have the best reason of all time, which is the US government is shutting down our ability to ship seeds. That's the hook. And so if you want them, you got to buy them now. Everything must go. So this is pure direct response. We're not trying to build brand. We're trying to liquidate, right?
Yeah.
You with me? Okay. Because
Yeah.
if we could see like a 50% or even 100% improvement in revenue just from the, how are you selling right now?
E-com.
Okay, yeah, so they would work. I mean, if it's direct to consumer, this will work. And then where's the creative? Like, how are you making creative?
You mean creative as far as like content for the website, or what do you mean?
Yeah, how are people finding you have an e-commerce site, but like, are ads legal? Is content, like, what's driving them?
Alex, as a business was hard enough, I chose a restricted niche, so
Yeah, no, I
it's
know.
impossible to do any kind of advertising.
Yeah,
So we're actually majority organic, referral, and then SEO.
got it. So I'll say this, just like, if this makes you feel a little bit better, there's a trade that you made when you picked the business, which is that you operate in a business that has 70% net margins. And part of the reason that you get to operate with those margins is because of the risk that's associated and because of the difficulties in exiting and the regulatory risk that you are now being exposed to. So I wouldn't see it as like, I can't believe this is happening. It's more like, this is the cost and benefit of being in this business. Just from a reframe perspective.
Yeah, makes sense.
That being said, you want to get to 2.5 million, which realistically means you want $100,000 in passive income. And so what I would suggest doing is I would basically let every single person know on the site. That would be a banner, that'd be emails to your list, that'd be talking, and then if you have distributors, I'd let them know that everything must go. And that would be, you know, obviously it's because of the US kind of overhang. I would probably do some, do you have enough seeds to sell? Like, can you sell more seeds?
We have, I got probably 2.5 million seeds, so yeah.
Okay, great.
Demand constrained right now.
Okay, then I would probably run some of these offers that are a little bit more egregious and direct responsey, which would be like buy 6, get 6, buy 2, get 4. I'm sure your markups are great, right?
Yeah, so the current offer that we have that actually made through AI is it's 50 seeds for 175, and then for 420, we're going to do 100 seeds for 163 seeds for 210.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure your cost is low though if you're running 70% net margins. I would definitely like consider doing BOGOs and like buy 2 to get 4, buy 3 to get 6, buy 3 to get 6, like some wild offers, because you can't ship them after the deadline, right?
Yeah.
So basically the goal is, number one, sell out of inventory, run the direct response plays that you can, and as the date comes down, I would want to have a countdown timer on your site to when it stops being legal. That's number one. Number two, every month run a different promotion out of the Money Models book, and ACQI can help you with this, of just some flavor of BOGO, just some sort of thing. And also if you have any kind of accessories or anything like that, I would throw that in as well, because again, you got to get rid of everything anyways, right? So that's thing two. Thing three is that if we can run these margins and maybe even double the top line just for these kind of 8 months going into it, you can actually get close to your $2 million goal, but we can actually keep it from a post-tax basis if your fiance can get real estate professional status, and then you can take that and put it into a building or put it into a REIT or something, like literally just like you can put it into a multifamily building, you can put it into real estate. And then if she has real estate professional status, then you can take the depreciation from the building against your active income if you file jointly.
Okay.
So I would legally marry her before then, like ASAP. If you plan to get married, I would do it. Get her to file so she gets her 750 hours, as long as it's greater than her main business. But if you're going to save 37% on $2 million, it's her basically bringing in $700,000-$800,000 to the bottom line in terms of net worth add, which then, if you translate that at 5% a year, is her bringing in an extra $40,000 a year forever because of this move.
Okay.
Does that track?
Yeah.
Does that help?
I didn't know that was an option, so it helps tremendously.
Okay, good. Good. Well, I'm sorry you're going through this. The upside is that like you run the margins you have because of the nature of the business you're in. But the best thing in the world for a marketer is a crisis. Like nothing sells like crisis. Because you have a legitimate reason why. That's what every marketer wants, is a legitimate reason why. Why are we running this offer? Because it's about to be illegal. It's so good.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Lean into it. I want countdown timers. I want scarcity. I want urgency. You got 8 months to run this thing hard, and then you can set yourself up for your next thing.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah, that sounds good. I appreciate that.
Appreciate you, man. Sorry that you're going through it, but hey, I think you'll come out the other side better.
I appreciate that, Alex. You're the best.
You bet, man. You are. Appreciate you. All right. He's talking about washing drug money with real estate now. What? This is legal, per my understanding. Selling seeds are legal. So, all right, calm down, everybody. Thoughts on working on a skilled trade versus working door-to-door sales? Ooh, that's tough. That is super tough because I think both are actually fine. Like door-to-door is not going to be disrupted by AI nearly as much as some of the other sales things for a much longer period of time. Basically, door-to-door and trades will be disrupted, I think, at the exact same time. If not, trades may even be disrupted first because I don't know how many people are like opening up the door to a robot and then saying, I'll buy your thing. I think most people will be more comfortable slamming a door in a robot's face because there's no social pressure, which is basically what door-to-door is built on. So I think that's probably how I'd think about it. Let's go. Go Gadget next caller.
Beer.
What was it?
A beer.
A beer. Like a shot. A beer. What's up?
Hey, Alex. This is a beer. I own a business that provides accounting and CFO services to e-commerce brands.
Okay.
We're doing about $6 million a year. My goal is to make the competition irrelevant. So I want to grow as much as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
What's stopping me, though, is I don't have a lead generation channel that's sufficiently effective that I can really ramp up growth a lot.
Okay.
I attended your L3 workshop several months ago. You recommended implementing a front-end offer and an affiliate program. I've done both. We've grown a lot since then, so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
But one of the big challenges I have is, while I think the affiliate offer is pretty solid, and everybody I talk to will often admit that it's a no-brainer, I have a lot of difficulty getting them to activate. Like to just turn on and send those first referrals. There's that initial friction. So it is still working. The affiliates are happening just not as much as I want. And at the same time, I'd like another channel that is short-term ROI faster, as opposed to the affiliates, which I know builds up over time and gives you a very low-cost, unstoppable funnel.
Whoa. Do you have something in your background, by the way?
I hope not. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I have feedback.
Okay, yeah, I had some feedback too. Oh, good. Okay, so a couple things. So first off, on the affiliate piece, we have to make sure that we're launching harder. So I think, is there what amount of money they're making if they, are you getting, what kind of kickback are the affiliates getting?
At the moment, $2K as soon as we close someone.
Okay, so is there any way that you could dangle 10 grand or something like that for somebody to do a webinar with you, and then you do you kind of send emails to their audience, and then you give them 10 grand up front, and then you kind of do a draw out of it. So it's the first 10's guaranteed, and then I'll also give you, and so once I get 5, that's kind of counts towards the 10, and then after that it's 2. And then what's a customer worth to you?
I would say a fair bit. I mean, we have almost no churn. So thus far with the data that we have, I mean, it's not unreasonable to think that, 50, 60. I mean, we have LTVs that go up into the 6 figures. So it's just a question of time.
Okay, well then, I mean, fundamentally, if you have a 3-to-1 LTV to CAC, right? I'm guessing, what are gross profits on that?
About 60-ish%, 55.
Okay, so call it 36 on 60 is what you make, and 100K you're making 60K, right? So 36 to 60K-ish. Does that sound correct? Okay.
Yeah.
So I think you're undercompensating for the affiliate. So I'd be willing to give 6, 8, 10 even, for a deal like that, and that's per deal. Now, right now you're starting lower, which is fine. But given like you getting one customer can be on the low side worth 36 to you in gross profit, it's like I'm willing to give 10 for that all day. And so if I would just say, hey, I'll front you 10 to get started, or like let's say you offer 2 and you say, hey, but if we do the thing in the next 30 days, I'll give you 3 for each for life.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Okay.
Just put a little bit of urgency into it. I think is I don't want you to abandon the affiliate thing, because I do think it's like it's obviously working, and so we need to tweak it rather than like let's start something else. It's like we're 6 inches away from gold. It's like let's drill the next 6 inches to get it over the hump. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%.
Yeah.
The impression that I've gotten, and I don't know if you would agree with this, at least your AI kind of felt this way, but the actual motivation for them is not purely financial. For them, some of the hesitation comes from just the general friction of activation, and then the fact that the social capital that comes with making a referral to a client. So that's why, as much as possible, I try to position it as the offer is theirs, it's white labeled, it's value to the client. And again, they all say it's a no-brainer, so I think that aspect is there. But well, I'm more than happy to increase the commission per your recommendation. I do wonder if there's a psychological element out there outside of the fact that like dangling more money alone would not create it. Like I don't know that it would double the activation.
Yeah. So 2 things. One is I would consider making it ongoing. So I'd like consider raising, because you have almost no churn. Do you have any sale? Like, is getting someone to close when they get on the phone difficult?
Sorry, I didn't hear the last.
What are your close rates?
About 30, 35.
Yeah. I was gonna say, because like if we could get like a 10% boost in price, we could just hand all of that to the affiliate and make it ongoing. Because if you're white labeling it, then you can position it as like, so there's 2 angles to position this from. Number one is that with my services, I will make sure that they see your thing is free, right? So I'm going to do my economics to show them what they're saving with me, and they can count that towards what they see with you. And your thing, this is free forever. That's framing for them, right? That's sales beneficial. The second element is that a lot of people don't want to refer out their business for a one-time spiff. But if they can get 10%, 15% ongoing, they're probably way more likely to want to do it.
Interesting. Okay. I actually offered both. I assumed the upfront hit might be a little bit more motivating.
The thing is, I think honestly right now is like you're not offering enough. And so right now it feels like the money is like, it's like money isn't motivating. It's like, well, if you offer them $10, it's not motivating. If you offer $1 million, it is, right? So there's an amount, right? And so the thing is you have more than enough LTV to make up for it. And I think if they give you a little bit more of an assist, but I think the key element here in terms of making sure that it actually gets like implemented faster is that you say that you give, there's two plans, call it 2K, 3K, or 3K, 10K, whatever, and they get the big one if they do it now.
Okay, so basically creating a form of urgency for it.
Yes, and it's within the first 30 days, and the only reason we do that is because we found the people who do it in the first 30 days have by far the most success. Because there's really only, like, and I don't know if you do this, but I would show them a roadmap, because think about risk, think of the value equation, right? You got risk, speed, ease. So it's like, how do we make it less risky? How do we make it faster? And how do we make it easier? So I would say, hey, we already have the emails written. I already took the liberty of, writing that. Obviously, my AI can help you with that. So it's like, take their brand, take the the email sequences and the text sequences that have to go. I already custom built the page. So there's nothing you have to do there. That's on the ease side. So it's like, and I'll go there. I'll send one of my team to actually plug it into your CRM to make that happen. That's the ease size. The second thing is risk. And so from risk perspective, one is like, here's testimonials, number one. Number two, people are willing to take on risk if they're getting ongoing payments, far more likely to. That's where I think the ongoing spiff is something that's more valuable. And then from a speed perspective, that was the whole framing around the urgency, right?
Yes, that totally makes sense. With respect to the bit on the risk and the testimonials, I had the feeling that if I were to speed up the amount of the, essentially the offer is the cash ads to the front end. So if I can get a lot more testimonials for that through a different channel, then it just speeds up the ability to generate that social proof wall. And then again, faster revenue in the door today, in addition to adding the affiliate channel.
Well, the fastest channel for you, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to ask if it makes sense to try something like running an ad funnel for that.
You absolutely can. I'm pretty sure I recommended affiliates because it didn't seem like it was like within your like realm of skill sets at the time. And so I was like, I want to take the highest likelihood bet as my first bet. Given where you're at, I still like, if I had my druthers, I'd want you to still redline this and go harder on it.
Absolutely.
Because I think that gets you to 10, 12 and beyond. Do I think that having an ad funnel is in the future of the business? Yes, I do. But I just want to have this base of affiliates that's feeding you first. From an ad funnel perspective, I think that it would be almost content driven because this is a very this is an authority thing. Like they're literally coming to you for like CFO, you know what I mean? Like they have to see you as an authority figure. And so I think the logos of the brands, the size of the brands that you have being mentioned, as long as they're okay with it, in the ads, plus like 2 or 3 very clear tactical hooks and angles of things that they're not thinking about or that their generic bookkeeper or CPA is leaving out, that is going to have a dramatic effect on the business. And so it's like, I know this sounds wild, but like try and ROI yourself before the call.
You mean like a calculator close type thing?
No. Try and ROI yourself in the content that you're putting out that becomes the ads.
Okay.
So here's the next steps on the ad funnel side. I'd prefer you still double down on the affiliate thing, but the next steps look like this. Post a shitload of content about you doing stuff with the clients that you currently serve and the size and the savings, all of that, right? And talk about all the tiny little tactics that you do with those businesses. Then you can hook up ManyChat to those organic content pieces, drive them to just inbound leads, so you'll get leads from that. And that can go opt-in, VSL, close. And then once you know the highest performing content pieces, you can take all that content and immediately just distribute them as ads to the same funnel.
Okay, that's very helpful. And then just to pivot back to the affiliate for the moment, most of the ones that I have been managing to acquire are somewhat warm people, like agencies and people network that I know.
Yeah.
Is it worth then going that step further to like the cold affiliate acquisition? Obviously, it's functional, but the amount of effort
if I had my druthers
from cold is harder.
Yeah, if I had my druthers, I would actually advertise to B2B agencies via ads instead. Because there's so many e-commerce
so, like,
agencies.
Rock a lead magnet to them, and then
and I would just get them on the phone and say, listen, I have an offer that is only me making you money, not costing you money, but here's the deal.
Right.
Think about it this way. If you give $6,000 up front, and let's say an agency has 30 clients, okay? They do a webinar with you, and let's say half of their customers take it. That's 15 out of 30. If they're getting $6,000 up front, they make $90,000 in the first month with you. That's a hell of a testimonial.
Right, and then I can have testimonials of affiliates to social proof more affiliates.
Exactly. And so the pain points are going to be different. So it's like you're probably dealing with LTV issues, churn issues, them constantly doing XYZ. It's like, what if you could onboard a customer and even if they leave you, you still keep getting paid?
That's solid.
Right? Cool. I got to jump to the next person, but that help you out?
Fantastic. Of course. Thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate you, Ben. Rock and roll.
Appreciate you.
For those of you who are curious, I think there were some questions in the chat. I'm taking calls from Vantage, which is our new group that we just opened up after 6 months to the public. March 1st, we just opened it up. It's for $1 million plus founders. I'm sure there's a link somewhere. You can go grab it, and you can also submit questions there if you're a $1 million plus founder. Otherwise, this is just way more enjoyable for me than making direct-to-camera content because it's like real business. So yeah, that's my being real with you. All right, at what point in someone's business journey is someone ready to date and find a partner? I feel like those are two entirely separate things. I think I'll say this. I think that if you are ambitious and you work your ass off, if that's a guy who's asking that question, women will be attracted to you because they see that I think women care less about resources and more the ability to acquire resources, especially when you're younger. So that's my 2 cents. To be clear, I'm not saying they don't care about resources. I'm just saying I think the thing that matters more is the ability to gather those resources. All right, let's do the next one. Jake.
Alex, what's going on, brother? Can you hear me okay?
I can. What's up? What's happening?
What's going on, man? I just want to say first before we start that you made me a lot of money, more than I ever thought I could make. And I want to thank you for everything you're doing, man. I really do appreciate it.
Well, thank you for actually taking action. It fills my heart. So what's cooking?
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, so I'm getting a little feedback, so I might mess up here. However, I run a marketing agency for B2B SaaS service, mostly professional services. We did about 1.2 million trailing 12 months. I want to do 10.
Okay.
Bottleneck right now is I'm totally key man risk in sales and ascension.
Okay.
The only one that can reliably close and upsell clients. Thanks to Money Miles book, though, so our core offer is the front end, 16 weeks, guaranteed 20 qualified calls for these folks. I close like 34%.
Okay.
The closer that I hired in the U.S. closes 0%.
That is worse than 34%.
Like, terrible.
Yeah, quite bad.
Yeah.
Then maths don't math.
Problem
Yeah.
is I'm in Spain.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in the U.S., so he has a full calendar. I have a half calendar.
Okay.
Right? So that's problem number one. Problem number two is on the back end, only about 10 to 15% of pilots ascend to our long term. We have a bolt on.
Yeah.
Nobody's buying it.
Okay. So you have two separate problems. Let's deal with
even
them.
though-
Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
Okay.
We dramatically outperform the promise, though.
Okay.
So we get about 59.8 calls for these folks over 16 weeks.
Okay. Let's just separate the problems
so-
into one at a time, though. So problem number one is that
Sure.
you're dealing with a closer issue, and problem number two is that you don't you have a lack of ascension, right?
Yes.
Are you taking the ascension calls?
I will hop in when we've identified an opportunity for it,
Well, who's taking
but
the
not as
ascension
often
calls?
as I should because my calendar's full.
So, who's taking the ascensions?
I have a CS leader who's essentially taking those and making those offers, and I will kind of check it up, but it's not really refined as a process, I guess.
Got it. My team's also telling you to turn down the volume on me. That might help with the feedback.
Okay.
Okay,
perfect.
so let's deal with problem number one, which is that you haven't been able to duplicate a salesperson. So, number one is, do you have a script?
Yeah. Yes.
And this guy, is he following said script?
He's very script adherent, but he's not asking the sort of what's behind that? How do you mean by this specifically? Like he's okay with surface level answers.
Right. And so you have the sales handbook that I have, right? My sales handbook?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so the issue that we're missing is you just have to train him on saying these two things, literally. All right, this is what you're going to role play with this. Can you tell me more about that? Can you give me an example? And you're going to rotate back and forth. And so he says, hey, what brought you in the call today? I saw this and that. Okay, I'm guessing you're not doing this and that all day. What problem are you trying to solve? I'd like to get more calls. Okay, got it. Tell me more about that. And then they tell you more about that. And then you say, can you give me an example? And he's like, well, XYZ. And you're like, tell me more about that. You literally alternate back and forth. You tell me more about that. Can you give me an example? Tell me more about that until you give me an example. Until you get something meaty. It's just way better than saying why, right? It's the equivalent of that pain cycle for someone. So you have to role play with him on that part. And so he's getting the first part of the script, but he's not learning how to dig for pain. And so the first part of
that could be true, but also
yeah.
I was just curious about, is the offer not, obviously my idea on the ascension is that the people who do ascend are middle market.
We're talking one problem at a time. One problem at a time. There's the front end sale and there's the ascension. We're not talking about ascension. We're talking about front end sale because that's what's fucking up right now. Because you can't even focus on the ascension because you got to take the front end sales. Right?
Yeah, and he's talking to these middle market people, and there's the multi-threading aspect, there's the sales cycle aspect. He's going to bring in people at the table, the director of marketing and stuff like this.
Well, how do you close?
That?
How are you closing? Are you doing that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, then. So, let me say this differently. You're doing something that he's not doing. You have to identify what you do that he's not doing and get him to do that. And he might also be doing things that you don't do or saying things that you don't do, and you got to get him to stop doing those things. And the only way you're going to do that is through role playing.
I hear you.
And the only way you're going to do that is through role playing. How often are you role playing with him?
Yeah, I hear you. Every day.
How do you role play?
Yeah. We give an example of said person, the SaaS company. I'm doing this, like whatever we get from the marketing form that comes in. And then we just start with the script, and he goes through the script, and it's perfect. You know what I mean? It seems like great. And then he gets on the call. I mean, this guy is a good salesperson. He's done all types of sales, this and that. First time doing remote though.
Okay.
But he fits the parameters from like a psychological perspective. I'm a marketing guy. I know like an ad works when an ad works, a landing page works when a landing page works. But when I think about sales, it's quite difficult for me to understand like what am I doing differently that he's not. It's hard for me to identify these things.
You just have to like, if he's saying the initial questions and he's not quote digging for pain, it's likely that you're trying to get him to sell like you. And this may sound in contrast to what I was saying before, but it's more that like when you create a truly good script, it doesn't require an expert to sell it. And so if you have a purely authoritative, consultative-based selling style, which a lot of founders do, then it requires on you knowing more than the prospect and then them being impressed by you because you get really into the weeds and then they're like, wow, and they buy, right? That is not how you can teach a team.
That's exactly right.
Right, that is not how you can teach a team to sell. We have to dig into the pain, but offer absolutely no solution. So all we do...
That's absolutely right.
Yeah, so the part that you're missing in your sales process and the part that you need to review and probably train with him is the discovery process. So if we break the script right now, so when you're doing your role playing, are you theming the day?
Say again, sorry.
So if I'm training somebody on sales, I'm going to train them differently all 5 days of the week. So on Monday, we're going to work on the intro. Purely, how do we open the call? How do we set the frame? And just go back and forth on that part of the script. That's it. We're going to role play that 10 times for the day. That's it. Tomorrow, we're going to go through disco. We're going to go through discovery. And we're going to basically practice. Tell me more about that. Can you give me an example? Tell me more about that. Can you give me an example? Now, the second part of discovery, as we transition into pitch, is going to be the recap, which is so it sounds like you match what they said the problem is to what you solve. So it sounds like you said this, this, and this. It sounds like you've got an ads issue and it sounds like you've got a funnel issue. Does that sound about right? Great. Once we basically do a pain stack at the end of like that pain cycle, so we figured out problem 1, problem 2, problem 3, and the sub-problems, you say, okay, because you said X, Y, Z, it sounds like you that. Is that true? ZYW, it sounds like you've got this. Is that true? Great. So we get agreement on the problems. You say, you know what? I think it'd be a perfect fit for what we've got. Can I tell you a little bit about it? Great, now we're in pitch. So on Wednesday, we practice the pitch. Now the pitch should be short, man. Pitch is like 60 to 90 seconds top. It's three things. We do X, we do Y, we do Z, and for each of X, Y, and Z, we have an unbelievable example of why it would be ridiculous not to believe what I'm saying. So you're doing, $2 million a year?
Closed, though.
That's fine, doesn't matter. Is he setting for you?
So you just cut it off at O? You just cut it off at O and then you move to review and cap and then S when you go to the second call? Or
you still got to go CLO again. You still have to reset the frame.
Okay.
Is he setting and closing for himself?
He has his own. Yeah, for himself.
Do you have a VSL between?
We have too many calls. We have a super good VSL and a super good thank you video. Like 300 calls, 200 live calls a month right now.
Right. And so, all right, tell me what this offer is, real quick.
I would love for you to know that, yeah. So it's 16 weeks, 20 qualified calls. It is either they can split pay that for 8 and 8, 8 now, 8 at launch, or 13.4. My plan is like just increase that as we keep getting more results.
Sure.
And then we have a bolt on there.
What's the qualifier for them to get on the call?
Say again?
What's the qualifier to get on the call?
Their ticket price has to be, for their product, their ACV has to be over 30K.
What about their revenue?
500K.
Okay.
Minimum floor.
Yeah, I mean, that price point's fine. All that stuff works. So do they not believe you?
I mean, the thing is, too, though, is that, like, what I've noticed is that he's not opening the doors and closing them. Like, he's not killing zombies, proverbially.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he's fucking up discovery.
Like, I don't know if ads are going to work for me.
He's fucking up discovery. I mean, I'm just saying, everything you're saying, he's missing disco. You need to role play him on disco. That's the
Totally.
issue. I'm just saying, like, that's the root problem.
Got
So that's
it. Okay.
so right now, if that's the core issue,
Yeah.
then you're probably going to disco more times. And then once he gets unfucked on disco, then every day of the week you go intro, you go train on disco, then you train on pitch, then you train on close, which is objection handling, and then on Friday you train again on the thing that he's weakest at, which probably for a while will also still be discovery. That's the training cycle. And don't let him just say the script. Don't let him just say the script. He goes through the script and stop him the moment he fucks up, and then get him to do it the right way and try again. You have to stop him in real time. Otherwise, if he just goes through it and then you try and give him feedback at the end, it's not going to work. It's not how people learn.
No,
So
for
you
sure.
should tell him up front.
This is a $200,000 per month problem that he's
Yeah.
trying to-
Yes, 100%. And so you have to set the stage up front. Hey, listen, man, I'm going to role play with you. I'm going to change how we're doing it. The moment I see you mess up or not do something wrong, I'm going to correct you. But here's the thing. When he's doing it right, I want you to have your thumb up and I want you to nod while he's talking. So I want him to have visual feedback that he's doing a good job when he's doing it right. And then as soon as he gets it right, say, great, let's lock it in. Do it again. Great, do it again. So as soon as, if let's say you get something wrong, you say, awesome, do it like this. He does it. If he does it correctly, then you have to do it 3 more times before he gets to move on.
Rock and roll, man, dude.
All right?
Fuck yeah.
That's the thing that's missing
yeah.
right now. All right. I think if you solve that
sure.
problem, you'll be able to have the bandwidth to go solve the ascension issue. Because honestly, you just need to take the ascension calls for now, put a VSL there, and you should be fine. You have a CS person doing sales. Obviously, that's the issue.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I really do appreciate it. I mean, I'm glad to know that the offer looks good.
It's fine, dude. Honestly, it's
And it's
underpriced.
just-
It's
yeah.
actually a little underpriced right now, but like, let's solve the sales problem. But I think to a degree, you're too cheap for some. Like, think about it. You're charging $13,000 for somebody who has a $30,000 per customer. So it's like
I know.
no, I'm saying I think it actually might be below the point of marginal cheapness, which is PMC. You might be so cheap they don't even believe you can deliver. Like you might
Would you
sound
recommend
small
just, like,
time.
racking up the price? 'Cause I was
Yeah,
already planning on
I think
doing
I think you sound small time, dude. It sounds too cheap. If
Sure,
I have a
okay. Well, what do you
30K
think it should be?
average, I mean at least 1 or 2 clients worth.
Yeah, because I mean, we're signing folks that are like deals are
Right.
like 500K, 800K.
Yeah, dude, it's just not believable,
hospitals
dude.
and
It's
shit
not
like that.
believable. It's not believable.
Yeah.
I would
hear
go 15K a month, man. If these are the people you're dealing with and they're signing 500K deals, then like it's a rounding error. They just don't believe you can do it because you're too cheap.
you. So still break it into like per month, but the prepay or the split. Do you like that kind of setup, or should it be monthly?
Dude, it shouldn't even matter. If they're actually making that amount of money from customers, they shouldn't even need a payment plan. Like 13K, 8K, it's like it's irrelevant,
Yeah, I hear you.
right?
Shit, man.
They just don't believe you. It's too cheap.
And then take the ascension calls.
Yeah,
and just
that's it.
crush it.
Drill disco with him, raise price,
Mm-hmm.
you take ascension calls. 1, 2, 3.
Rock and roll, man. Hell yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
Hell yeah, dude. Appreciate you. Take
All
care.
right, thanks, brother. For those of you guys who are in the chat, these are calls that I'm taking from ACQ Vantage, which is a community of the people who donated 1,000 books at the launch. We had it closed for 6 months. March 1st, we opened it back up for $1 Million Plus founders. And for those of you who are like, help the people who aren't $1 Million Plus. It's like, if only I gave all 3 of my books plus a trial of school for $16 for people who are not there. If only I did that. That is what I do, by the way. So if you want all 3 books, you can have all 3 hardback. As long as domestic US, I can't do it internationally because shipping's too much. But basically, you cover the cost of shipping. It's $5.33 a book for shipping, and school's free, and then it's $9 a month after that. You can go grab that. School.com/backpack. But for those of you guys who are $1 Million founders, and you'd like to be on the call, hit the link. Love to have you. And so with that being said, let's rocky road.
Not to be confused with Alex. This
Hey, what's
is
up?
caller
Hey, what's up,
number-
Alex? How are you?
What's up, man?
Not much. Just trying to get through it.
Can't have a bad day with a name like that. All right, go for it.
My name's Alex. That's funny.
There you go. Demon.
We did 560K in rev last year,
Uh-huh.
but the issue is we lost about 90% of our leads. 70% came from lead generation companies. The other 20% came from door to door. Other 10% was referral based.
What are you selling?
Now we're
Home
trying to
services?
start a
What are you selling?
Google PPC.
What do you
We
sell?
do solar and battery storage systems to anybody that basically makes over 150K in income.
Got it. Yeah. I saw your comment in the group. I think I responded.
Yes, you did.
Okay, good. What'd I say? Okay, so
Something that helped a little bit.
Oh, good. That's helpful. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so 70% of the 70% of your leads are coming from leads you buy, right? So you got brokers,
They
and
were.
then you've got door to door for 20.
Yes, but we were funneling through so many sales reps over the last 24 months. We went
Yeah.
to like 15.
Yeah.
So we just dropped that, and we tried to start doing the Google PPC because the lead generation companies we were using went out of business.
Oh, word. Oh, shit. Well, dude, were the leads good? Was it fine?
From the lead company, yes,
Okay.
but we got some insight from a company that we're actively competing with that's a lot bigger than us, so like a behemoth.
Yeah.
And they told us that Google PPC would work and kind of like the intermingling content and stuff together, but I don't know if our offer's right. We've been running ads for 10 days. We spent like $718, no leads, 2,000 impressions, 115 clicks.
Well, yeah, something's
So
wrong.
I don't know where to go.
Yeah. So but let me, before I jump into that, the business that went out of business that was giving you leads, what happened to the team?
I don't know. They were all virtual, so I think they had nearshore people, but I don't know where to find those guys.
I mean, you had a rep there, right? I'm sure you got a couple people's phone numbers because if it was small enough to go out of business,
Yes,
right?
I did. I think that the guys started another lead generation company, but their uptick in lead volume has been very slow.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, if I were in your shoes, I would reach out and try and get a hold of everyone in that company and try and find the person who is actually running the stuff for your account and offer him a job today.
Okay, and then
Because he obviously was getting you
Another-
leads that was actually working. So I'm like, let's go get that guy. One.
yeah, the issue is that we saw is that they're all pushing the free solar narrative, and solar's not free, so it brings in a ton of unqualified people.
You mean because the R&D credits expired?
I mean, I guess, but it just brings in people that are just BSers.
Meh.
Because so solar is super custom, and it has been, but the narrative has been get in home. We can't give you a price till we get in home. So our
Okay.
thought is we design 3 packages, run Google PPC to those packages, and just try to get people that way.
Well,
But I don't know.
I would say your current way isn't working that well, right?
No, I mean we started it
Yeah,
10
right.
days ago.
So whenever I'm going to get into, like, if there's a behemoth in your space, I replicate before I iterate. So I would copy the existing thing before I get cute. Because, like, new always sucks.
Yeah.
No, seriously, like, think about the apps in the App Store. They've been the same for like 20 years because, like, new sucks always. So it's like we don't earn the right to do new things until we replicate what already works. Also,
Okay,
I think
so the
I would
behemoth that we're dealing with
Okay.
is the behemoth is called Good Faith Energy, but they are a $30 million company, and they pride themselves on #1 solar company in Texas,
Okay.
Tesla Powerwall. That's really it. They really cling to Tesla heavily.
Okay. So
So where do I go? Just
Well, that doesn't
copy
matter.
them and run with it.
yeah, I mean, you sell batteries, right? You sell the same deliverable, correct?
Yeah, we're certified with all the same people.
Is the product better?
No, it comes from the same place.
Okay, so it's the same.
Yes.
Okay, so if you have the same thing, how do you beat somebody?
More money.
No, it's a real question. If you've learned anything from my content, every player on the field always has an advantage. So what are your advantages?
We can install anyone with under 60 days.
Speed. So you're faster than them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got speed, number one. What about ease? Can you do anything for them that's a little bit more white glove than they do?
I would say communication. That's been a big thing in solar.
Yeah. Can I give you a hint?
Yes.
You can have my cell phone. I'm the founder. These guys are these big behemoths. They don't care. You're just a number. So, like, you should always be able to beat these guys because you're not actually competing against the behemoth. You're competing against account rep number 7.
Yeah, that's very true.
Right. So you'll beat them on speed. You'll beat them on service. What else?
I mean, price, but
I don't want you to win on,
Yeah, I don't
on
want to
price,
do that.
man. Just do it on speed and do it on service, and I would replicate the offer that we already know works.
okay. I mean, I think we have a good base. We got 65 reviews on Google.
Good.
I've got 15K followers on Instagram, 200 on TikTok. So I figured I could do something with it.
Yeah, I do think that long term it makes more sense for you to use the Instagram to go attract door-to-door guys. Personally, I think it's higher leverage. One sales guy's going to make you $1 million a year. One lead's not going to be worth very much, right? From a house owner's perspective.
No, I mean, revenue, you're looking between like 40 to 70, but
Say it again.
gross profit before average ticket is like 40 to 70K,
Yeah.
but that's before paying for everything.
Yeah.
Net sales are like 10.
Yeah, per sale, right? So it's like I'd rather go get a node that generates sales, which is a salesperson who consistently can give me people. Now you said you shut your door-to-door down, which I'm not even going to touch for now. But as I see this, here are my steps. Step number 1 is we got to get to the greatest degree possible job offer the people who used to work your account that were getting you leads that were working. Thing number 1, and just do whatever you can to go get in touch with those people, because whenever I have something that works, I never want to let it go. Right? Once you have a flow, never let it go. Ooh, that rhymed. There you go. There you go. A little savante, a little rhyming action. Okay, so job offer that guy, number 1. Number 2 is we got to replicate the existing offer from a lead gen perspective. Now, when we win in the paint, we're going to win on the things that we have, which is going to be speed and service. Now, what I would do is, do you have a manager who comes by and does like the tour walk around once the person gets the stuff installed, the battery installed?
Oh yeah, like a post-sale survey type thing.
Yeah. So what I would do when that
I
person,
can do it.
well, actually, what I want you to do is actually have your manager or like the crew runner, whatever, have
Like
that
an
guy
operations
go.
director.
Yeah, exactly. Have that guy swing by and say, "Hey, how is the service?" They're gonna, how are the guys? They're gonna say great or whatever, and then you're gonna say, "Hey, ownership gives the guys a little spiff if you leave a review. I know it'd mean the world to them." And so people are more likely to give a review because the people were there and they know that it's going to help those guys out. It's like, hey, John and Dan, they got families. It helps them out. If you think they did a good job, if you leave them a review and put their name in it, it would mean a lot. The owner spiffs them a little extra.
Okay, and then what if?
And just
To
have
your
that guy
first
give a
point.
thank you gift from the crew before asking for it. Say,
Okay,
hey, the crew got
cool.
together, said you guys were an awesome homeowner. Here's a $50 thing. Just thanks for being
Okay,
we
and
get a lot
then-
of crazy people, so you were awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be great. That's a good point.
Okay.
My last question would be to your first point, where you said hire the person. If I can't hire them and they started another company, if their uptick is slower, should I just try to beat everybody out to buy those leads?
Yeah. Make a commitment. Say, listen, you're starting your business. I'm a small business owner too. We're in this together. If I succeed, you succeed. The more good leads I get, the more I can buy from you.
Okay.
You're too small for these guys. They're not taking you seriously, but you're just big enough for me.
Yeah, no, because they're getting all their
That's
traffic.
not
from-
what she said. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
No, I was just saying the behemoth is getting all their traffic funneled to their
Yeah.
contact page on their website based on their 1,000 reviews that they get.
Yeah. So we got to get your reviews up. But you always have the best position, which is that, like, listen, you're at the behemoth, you're going to be, house number 278. With me, you got all my attention. I'm here. Something breaks, call me. Like, every single one of these reviews makes a huge difference in my life and my family's life. I'm going to make sure I'm going to take care of you.
Okay. So actionable steps is hire that person
Yeah.
or go in with them, get all their volume. Step 2 is
Replicate the
let me buy it
offer.
one more time.
Replicate the offer.
Get the offer.
Number 3 is
Step
win
3
on
is
speed
have
and
the ops
service.
director go to the site post install.
Yes, and win on speed and service. That's your angle.
Cool.
So you don't compete on price.
Got it.
Cool?
Dude, you are awesome.
You're awesome, dude. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for everything you put out, man. That's great.
You bet, dude. Let me know how it goes. I'll see you in the group.
Yes, sir. Take care.
All right, see you, man. All right, 11 minutes left. So let's rock and roll. Let's, messieurs and madames in the chat. Pirates life for me. So be good to customers and build relationships. Indeed. Wild shit, I know. Also, as a side note, to the peanut gallery, it is very easy to Monday morning quarterback and to armchair, be like, oh, well, of course, just make the food better. It's like, it's very obvious to say that, but when you're running the actual business and like inventory is going bad and you have to, pick between organic and whatever chicken, and you've got one staff member who's hitting on somebody else and you're debating whether you should interfere so that they don't create a relationship, but at the same time, it's like you don't want to, overstep your bounds as a boss, and you've got rent due and you got payroll due and you got marketing dollars and you got leads you got to work. It's like, it's a lot of shit, man. It's very easy to say this and just be like, oh yeah, just XYZ. It's like, no, it's like the big thing is this. The best entrepreneurs are allocators of resources. It means they get more for what they put in, which means they do two things better than other people. They're better at curating opportunities, and then once they curate, which means they see the opportunities, they then prioritize what they see. Most people can't do either. Some people can do one, very rare for people to do both. And so I would say an example of somebody who can do level 1 of strategy is, hey, here's 6 things. Which one do you think is more important? They're going to be like, some people get that wrong, but decent people will be like, well, I think that's more important than that, and then they'll be right. But the best entrepreneurs are like, oh, but did you see option door number 3 that you didn't think about? That's a 10x. That is the basis of strategy. So if you've ever heard the term strategy, it's the curation and prioritization of opportunities with the limited resources you have to deploy. That is what it means. Okay, not Peter. Oh, I wonder who it is. Thoughts on the best type of sales for you to get into spirits? Volume, brother. Volume. Every single phenomenal marketer that I know personally started with a high volume sales position. I know guys who started in high volume cold calling, number 1. I know people who done high volume door to door. I know a guy who sold at a car wash, sold 200 cars a day, walking through the door. You want something that gets you as many feedback loops as possible. That is my biggest piece of advice. The reason I'm a big fan of people who sold in fitness is because in fitness, so many people are trying to lose weight. You can take 100 calls. You can see unlimited amounts of people if you're trying to sell weight loss. And so my recommendation, if you're trying to get into it, is don't worry about what you're earning. Worry about what you're learning, and you want to get as much volume as you possibly can in the shortest period of time. Okay, if you had to build a business while having massive bills to pay, dude, this is a 5 to 9 special, baby. This is a 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. So those are your 2 bookends of the day. You got 8 hours a day on the opposite ends of work schedule, and you got Saturday, Sunday. Now, if you're like, I'm still working all of those hours and I can barely make bills, then you got to look at your expenses, man. You got to look at your lifestyle, and you got to say, like, where am I willing to give up on my ego so that I can achieve my dreams? And so sometimes you got to take a step back. But I mean, like, I say this, but I'm also somebody who took a step back. Like, I had a really nice condo. Really nice, it was relative, but it's $180,000 condo when I was 23, I think, 22. And it overlooked the city. And when I was there and I decided I was going to get into fitness, I sold everything I had and I got in my car and I drove across the country and I started working minimum wage at a gym. And I lived in somebody's spare bedroom. And so all the people that I knew saw me in my swanky consulting job in my nice place. You can imagine the kind of step back that would be. And so if you're not willing to do that, you just don't want what you want enough. And that's fine. Just accept that you just don't want. That's you kind of want it. It's you kind of want it you want a 6-pack. It'd be nice, right? But it's very different than saying you're just not going to eat cookies for a month, right? All right, best offer to get wedding photographer clients for my new Google Ads agency. Run Google Ads. Okay. So wedding photographers. Honestly, I know a bunch of people who've been in the wedding photographer space. It's actually very easy to generate leads in that space. The difficulty with them is that everybody and their mother is a wedding photographer, or rather a photographer. And so the quality of the leads tends to be bad. And so you'll typically need a higher friction sales process to sell anything worthwhile. So call it a $2K plus price point. And you'll want to start making content ASAP. And this kind of goes for everybody, is that the world of content has merged with ads. So you make lots and lots of content. When content does well, take that content, run it as an ad to the thing you sell. And then if you still don't have big of a brand, bring them to a live, webinar. I mean, if you have a small amount of traffic, bring them to a live call. If you have a little bit more traffic, you can bring them to a webinar, which means you just send them a link to hop on a call with more people. And then you present stuff. And then you just solicit them to take a one-on-one call with you afterwards. It's a very simple funnel. You always talk about learning before earning. I missed that one. Okay. Macro Alchemist, struggling to get clients for high-ticket lead gen offer with no social proof yet, new business. Start for free. Start for free. Because here's the thing. If you are trying to run some sort of marketing thing, you have to understand how silly it sounds to say, like, I'm a good marketer, but I don't know how to get customers. It is kind of crazy, right? And so embedded within that is like you already are imbuing lack of proof. And so proof above everything. And so you have to compensate for the fact that you have no track record by winning where you can. You're going to win on service. You're going to say, listen, here's my cell phone. I'm the owner. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure. And number two, you have clearly an aligned incentive. Like, I need testimonials, dude. I need proof. And so I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that you win. Now, the thing is that there's still costs for them because they're probably going to be fronting the money for the advertising. And so, like, they're still going to lose money doing this if you suck. And so it's very reasonable for them to be hesitant with you. So you just have to, you got to kiss more toads, which means you got to get in front of more people. And if you're like, how do I do that? Tell people that you'll work with them. You'll do 5 one-on-one calls with them for free. Very easy way to do it. And then at the end of the 5th call, if they still want to work with you, you can keep working with them for free, or you work with them for X dollars. All right. So the whole deal here is lead with free. Lead with free. And if you're like, but if I give my services away for free, then no one's going to pay you. Yeah, maybe not those people, but I'll promise you 2 things. If you're fucking good, they will want to pay you because you're making them money. And number 2, if they don't want to pay you, you're probably not that good. But if they'll still leave you a testimonial, then you have that testimony that you can give to somebody who will pay you because they don't have an anchor of free. So there you go. We're already working with someone. How would you handle this objection? Very simply, then why are you here? I'm guessing if you were really satisfied with whatever the thing that you have is, you wouldn't be on this call right now, right? So they're probably not delivering something that you're hoping for. So what's the issue? We're back in the sale. I remember, I'll tell you, I have a story about this. I had a lady who walked in to the gym, and I got, I presented the price, and then all of a sudden she was like, well, I already have a personal trainer. And I was like, well, you're obviously not happy with him because you're here. And she was like, well, that's fair. And I was like, right. So you said you wanted to lose weight. You haven't lost weight. You've been working with this other person. As far as I'm concerned, it just means that you're spending money that you're going to save. Sounds like a great deal to me. You're going to spend less with me than you are over there because I was doing semi-private. Right? So that doesn't mean anything. Also, you can always just say like, great. I won't even give you more. That's enough. You can just use that one. Okay. What do you think about buying versus starting a business via search fund or seller financing? I'm not against it. I would say make sure that whatever business you want to start, find one that has high revenue retention. That is if you've never owned a business, then you definitely don't want one that has a good marketer who runs it. You want somebody who knows nothing about marketing, who's only grown on word of mouth, because the likelihood that you actually are buying goodwill. Whereas if you're buying a marketer's business or somebody who's good at marketing, you have to figure out how to do marketing and selling, and you don't know how to do it, you're in a bunch of hot water. So definitely find one like, fire inspection, those ones, like those contracts last forever. Pool cleaning, most people don't cancel that. Lawn care, people don't usually cancel that. Like there are businesses that do not have a lot of churn in them. You want to start there because if you take it over and everything goes to shit in 6 months, you're fucked. But those businesses tend to be very stable. And so you want stable so you can get your bearings and figure out what actually works. Okay. What do you advise to reach 100K from 10K? Ignore the fact that you have 10 grand because the only thing that you're going to use that for is to learn how to increase your active income. You're not going to use that 10 grand to turn it into anything. You're not the best day trader. You're not the best investor in the world. No one's getting a 1,000% return on their money. No one who's doing anything intelligent. All right. So the only thing that'll give you 1,000% return on your money is taking $10,000, using it to learn a skill that can make you $100,000 or $200,000. What apprenticeship would you recommend for somebody looking to gain entrepreneurial skills? Work at a small business or family-owned business. That's honestly probably one of the best ones you can do because it's small enough that you're going to be able to get a taste of everything. The only alternative I'd say is that if you work at a company that has a phenomenal training program for people who are new and coming in. So those are kind of my polar extremes of what I think is a good idea. Okay, Charlie. I speak to clients and they seem initially interested and then ghost me. What do I do to get them back on the hook? I think you just need to close, man. So what I mean is I think you're getting on sales calls and trying to not close. I think you're trying to book more calls, have more conversations. usually means that you're missing something prior to the sale, because the sale begins at the moment of interest. All right, so they reach out to you, they respond, they respond to an email, they comment on a post, they do whatever. And before they get on the phone, you need to show them a video that frames the conversation. That's a VSL, video sales letter. When that person watches that video and then they talk to you on that call, and you should set the expectation on the VSL that they're going to make a purchasing decision on that call if it's a 1-call close. If it's a 2-call close, it's same concept. You just basically double the process. You go VSL call, and then you close on the second. Now, if you're like, wait, well, if I close on the second call, what do I then say? It's even cleaner. You say, hey, we're going to have 2 calls. The first call is to make sure it's a fit both ways. We're not going to do any transaction there, so you can leave your credit card at home. This is just to make sure it's a good fit. And from that whole perspective, you're interviewing them on why you should be, or why they should be a customer of yours, and why it's worth your time to take them on. Then you can say, okay, I think you'd be a good fit. Let's talk to you next time. And so then the second call, the video that goes in between is just tons and tons of proof and tons of credibility, and then you sell. Okay, how do I outbound without getting banned on social media platforms? There's just a lot of other ways to do outbound. You can cold call, you can cold email. Most people who do high volume outbound do email and call, just FYI. Is AI going to eat away at language course market? I'll say this differently. Why aren't you using AI in your language teaching thing? So whatever you're afraid of that's going to beat you in your business, you have the absolute option of just making that your business and taking everyone else's lunch. So do that. By the way, anyone who repeats their question over and over again in the chat, I do not answer. Let's see. How would I start a gym in 2026? Honestly, not much has changed. I would probably run a small semi-private model. I think that model is the one that is the most profitable right now. You can look at Alloy, which is Rick Mayo's company. I think they have one of the best models in the space right now, which is small group semi-private, 1-on-6. You have 2 trainers in the morning and afternoon, which is 1 manager and then 2 trainers. So manager, trainer. The manager gets a profit share on the facility. All you got to do is get 100 people paying basically $400 a month. So $100 a week-ish to do 3 sessions a week, semi-private. The target market is older people who are not trying to be fitness heroes but stay in shape and longevity because they got the dollars, and $400 a month to the right market is irrelevant. And so I would probably run a 3-month grand opening, running a 2-week free trial into $100 a week. For 2 weeks of personal training would be the offer, and it would be grand opening special. I would pre-sell, call it 150, knowing I'm going to keep 100. I would assume you're going to close somewhere in the neighborhood if you're doing speed to lead and you're calling and closing card over the phone. Probably if you're doing a good job, 15, 20%. Honestly, lead quality is going down on Meta, so probably 15-ish% of the leads. Expect to pay $50 a lead, and then you reverse engineer the math, and that's your grand opening, so you can open full profitably with a 3-person staff. That's how I'd open it. That's if I had capital. That's what I would do. If I did, I'd have to run a more aggressive campaign. Last 60 seconds. So who is my favorite visit to the gym? That was Coop. Coop Garage Gym Reviews. Shout out to Coop. He's a G. Tanny, am I happy with life? Couldn't be happier, man. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Peace and blessings be upon you. Rock and roll. Out!